riding on your rims.
We just saw him the other day, right? One of the more viral videos that came out in the last recent, like I said, week or so, was him doing the voiceover for Darth Vader. It was hilarious, right? But all that kind of goodwill gets ruined. And even here with a guy like Frank Gore, when you read the details of the report and the fact that police actually did come back around the next few days and decided to charge him, Frank Gore is, if you ask anybody before this happened, you'd think, good guy, great guy, longtime pro. You love Frank Gore. You got no idea, man.
Number 3.
Do we have more details on how the magic was worked to get the Lions to? I was going to say give, but they didn't give. It cost the Rams a bunch. How they got Matt Stafford? What did Sean McVay do to flex his muscle and get this done? And now we got a Super Bowl.
So first off, I need to apologize to the show. I had a brilliant idea.
Okay.
I dramatically reenacted, audio-wise, Sean McVay's quote that I'm about to read you.
Okay.
Laden with F-bombs and everything, and was going to edit it, and then I totally forgot to send it.
You had a whole thing set up.
It was going to be brilliant. But apparently, so we know the story. We know briefly what part of the story is, right? That McVay and him, they were at the same resort in the offseason, and that ultimately they met up with one another. Well, you got a couple more details on this from McVay, that after he met Stafford for cocktails and discussed football, according to a report from Seth Wickersham, McVay made a FaceTime call to members of the front office when he was, quote, a few tequilas in, which, by the way, we've seen McVay, I would assume, a few tequilas in. That was during the draft when he was laughing and mocking and chiding the New England Patriots for taking their rookie offensive lineman. Quote from McVay when he's talking to his superiors, the executives. Here's the effing deal, okay? We could sit here and exist and be okay winning 9 to 11 games and losing in the effing divisional round and feel like, oh, everything's okay. Or we could let our mother effing nuts hang and go trade for this effing quarterback and gives ourselves a chance to win an effing world championship. You ready to effing do this or what?
What do you say to that? Hey, you know what? No.
I'd say sleep on it.
Hey, there you go.
Sleep on it, Sean.
You calm down.
Relax. We'll talk about this in the morning. You're a little too aggressive right now.
Number 2.
Okay, now I'm going to pull an audible here. Omaha. Ham sandwich. Green. I did just, as you were telling that scintillating story about McVay, I did just watch the Marshawn Lynch video.
Oh, boy.
Which we'll tweet out at ESPN Las Vegas. Fine job by our friends at the RJ. So, if you listened yesterday, I mentioned during the Justin Watkins conversation that officers really have to be careful in cases like this, right? When you're dealing with celebrities. Because I thought there were whispers that the Lynch side may claim that Lynch got roughed up during the arrest. So I just watched the whole thing. First of all, they come up on the car. It looks like he's out cold.
Oh, he is.
He is out cold, and then he's very unresponsive as they're talking to him. And they drag him out of the car and cuff him. Did you see anything wrong with the way they cuffed him? And there was a knee in his back. I mean, he almost looks like he's asleep. And he's a gigantic guy, so I don't think cuffing him is that easy. So it looked like that. He used like double cuffs, a little extension.
Right.
But it didn't. Listen, that's what they put out. I don't know if there was something happened, when he was being booked or, on the way down to jail. But, man, that video is pretty damning.
Mm-hmm.
He looks messed up.
He looks like he's kind of asleep. He's lounging in the back. He's got a hand behind. He's got a hand behind his head, like he's just chilling. I mean, I haven't seen the video in its entirety. You read details of the video, and that's what it says, that he was essentially unresponsive while sitting in the car. If you're going to try to claim that is very disingenuous for what is a really dangerous mistake.
I haven't seen anything yet.
Right.
But, I'd heard that might be a possibility, and now watching it, again, we have all we have is a 2-minute video, but it's pretty interesting. That he's not in good shape when he's in the car.
No.
Not at all. And it would sort of explain that in that state, you could really mess up your automobile. So he was driving a Mustang, and he was driving on the wheel well and basically stripped down. Really nice rim on the front left tire, and the rear left is flat. So I don't even know how far he drove like that. And then it looks like he was sleeping or pretty much out cold in the car. Top story.
Number 1.
What a freaking disaster for the Golden Knights. What bad news today. I know everyone's got an opinion on Robin Leonard. He's been a very polarizing player. The end of last season was bizarro. Was he healthy enough to play or not? Why was he playing? Who was telling him to play? Was it DeBoer's decision? Was it coming from upstairs? Now we go through almost an entire offseason. We're ready to go here with the Golden Knights at the beginning of September, get rolling towards the season. We find out this morning Leonard is out for the season. The goalie situation, Logan Thompson is the guy in waiting, and he got some valuable playing time a year ago. Is he good enough to, play whatever, 60, 65% of games and win them a Stanley Cup? And the thing is, they have no choice but to move forward with this and tinker as much as they can for now. They're a team of now. You don't trade Max Pacioretty, who, by the way, is now injured with the Canes, but you don't trade him basically in a salary dump, keep the rest of the group if you're like, oh, now we can throw our hands up, and I guess this will be a down year. There can't be a down year. You got to move forward with this group.
Which I would assume means that you have to go find another body to put between the pipes with Thompson. And that's something against him. I mean, you can roll forward and he'd be your starter for the majority of these games, 55, 60 games, whatever it is. But again, when you're talking about splitting games between Robin Leonard and Logan Thompson, it's a pretty good goaltender situation to have. Those are your top two guys. But if Thompson is now your top guy and you're having to find the backup situation and somebody who's going to start 25-ish games or so for you, like that's something where you have to improve your top two guys. I would think you have to go find somebody else.
They got some work to do, serious work to do. This is a good management team. They lined up things really well in year one. They were super competitive the last couple of years up until last year when they kind of fell apart in the middle of the season because of injuries and then salary cap issues. Man, to hit the reset button without your number one goalie, go for a cup this year, is going to be tough.
It's the Big 5 at 5.